Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna. Today is January the 7th, 2022 and it's Saturday. So I'm going to designate Saturdays for my next project. And that project's going to be Summer Moon. It's a 10-month project that's going to run and I'll be doing 3 to 4 blocks each month until I work through this entire book. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I like a challenge, so I challenged myself. This quilt, I really like the layout. I like everything that it's got to offer. I have 3 granddaughters, so I'm going to do 3 of the same quilt, but with different fabric lines. I think that's going to be pretty cool to be able to show you a few different options that you have as well. My first block that I'm going to be doing is going to be the album block. Now, I can't share any of the measurements along the way, but I can show you the layout, the sewing it up, the pressing it out, how important it is to get those seams right, and then the squaring it up in the end. So I've already been asked several times how I keep my projects organized when I'm doing something like this. It's going to be a big project, a big undertaking with doing 3 of the same. So I never want to get my fabric lines mixed up, whether it's the same backing, background, whatever. When I buy for my quilts, I put everything in one tub. So I have tubs and I have the names on them of whatever quilt pattern I'm working with. So I put everything inside from the background. I have it, and I have a full roll. I cut a yard off at a time and put into the tub. That way I've got the yardage that I need. I buy my fat quarters because that's what it's calling for. And I bought this in a bundle, and this will be for one of my grandchildren. So as I'm working through the blocks, so I know what fabric I'm already cutting from, I just put a pin in. So as soon as I pull it out, I know I've already cut off this. So I don't have to worry about how much is there or whatever the case may be when it comes down to the next blocks that I'm building. I've already done a couple of the blocks, so let me show you what they're going to look like. They turn out really cute. So with that being said, I can tell you the sizes of the blocks along the way as I'm building them, but I'm trying to line this up to where the camera is so you'll be able to see it. This is how the blocks are, and I love the way that it's got the little cross in the center and it comes around, and that's dubbed the album block. Now that's my 5-inch. Then this is my 6.5 inch, and the one that we're going to work on today is going to be my 8-inch. So I'm using the same fabric line for this set of blocks, and then the next fabric line, it'll be the same fabric line, just a different set of fabrics for the next block, so it'll all be mixed up throughout the quilt. That way it's not all going to be laid out the same. So I'm going to open my book. I've already pre-cut because, like I said, I can't share the fabric cutting with you at all on any level. I've chose to go with a more modern look for this one. And the next 2 that I've done, they're going to be not so much modern, but they're going to be antique-y. So I think you'll like the different mix that you're going to be able to see. I can show you the layout of the block, and it lays out really nice, really easy. It definitely needs squared out as we move along. You don't do any of the squaring up until the end. So let me lay this aside. I'll pin these back up so they're out of my way. And we will get this next block going. All right, so right now I have section 1, section 2, and section 3 built. So I'm going to do a real quick pressing on it, getting my seams to go the way that I want them to go, manipulate them just a little bit with heat if I need to. I did not press as I was building. For me, I find it's easier to just go ahead and finger press it and then come back with the heat. So let's get these joined together now. So this is the 3rd part. So I'm just going to line this up as best you can. You need to just eyeball it. And you can pin if you'd like. I've just been laying them right in and they're coming out really nice each time. So whatever your sewing preference would be is what you would want to do for yours. You stick with your true 1/4 of an inch, even though you know you're going to be trimming some off. And there's no scant 1/4 inch to this. As you can see, as we get to the end of it, the way that we need to square this block, it'll show you what you need to be doing here. So now that I've got that done, this one calls to be pressed that way, and I'm just going to give it just a little bit of heat so it'll lay good and flat for me as I move to the next step. I'm not worried about these little puckers right here. They're going to be cut off here in a minute. So I'm going to line this one up, and what I do is line it straight up here on this one and just come straight up. And I give it a good pinch. That way it's right in where I need it to go. And then I get this one under my needle, and I'm using my hands basically to hold the fabric in place to where I want it to be. And you go at your own pace on this project. These are fun blocks to make. Anytime I'm working with this project, though, I will be always starting with the small block, working my way up. The small blocks seem to be the ones where everybody's saying they're being challenged. So far, it's just came together really, really nice. So let me just finger press that in. Give it a little bit of heat. You can starch if you would like, but I'd rather just get it trimmed in to the size that it needs to be. And then if I want to starch it, I will. But for right now, it's just fine the way it's laying. So let me move my iron out of the way, move my clips out of the way, and I've got my cutting station right here that I'll be using. Or I can even pull up this one, because this needs to go at 8.5. You're not going to cut this block this way. You're going to cut it this way. So I want to double check my measurements before I square this down, and it tells you exactly how this is going to go at 8. So this is exactly 8 inch. So I'm going to lay it straight on and get to exactly where I want it to be. I want to make sure that I'm all in here because you're going to be building these blocks out at a later time on this to where you're going to be putting a border around them. So it needs to be 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I've got my 1/4 of an inch over here. So I'm going to move this over just a smidge. And what I'm going to do is trim these sides off first. And that's exactly where I need to be. And move it. And then just spin it around and repeat the process over here. And then now I'm going to do this side, and I'm going to line this up to where I'm right in between here, and I have my sew space. So I'm just going to slide this side over just a smidge, somewhere I need to be. And I'm center right here on my marking. And now I'm going to slide this over, and then I'm just going to bring this in to where I'm center here again. And I'm at my 1/4 of an inch. And I'm there. And now I have the album block is now finished. Put my scraps over here. I love this Quilters Select. It's got the sticky back and nothing moves for me. So this is the large block. It's the 8 inch. And as you can see, it's finished. It finished up really nice. It's got the cross lined up here. It's got the good colors that's balanced all the way through. The corners come in nice. Now, in the end, when we're getting ready to put this together, we'll be putting a border around each block and building them all out. Like this is an 8. By the time we get to like the 6.5 and the 5, we'll be building those blocks out. You can choose to frame them out as you're building. I'm going to save mine till the end and just frame them all out as need be. And thank you guys for joining me today for Summer Moon. I'll see you back again in the next video for the next block. Bye-bye and have a great day.